Good morning, sweet friends. As most of us head back to work on this beautiful Monday, I thought it was important for us to start a conversation talking about the feelings that you feel right before you're ready to switch careers, right before you know that it's the right decision for you to make to transition from the career that you have now, even if you've worked awfully hard for it, into the career that you've been dreaming about, that you know is better for you, or into a career that you may not have discovered yet because you haven't given yourself permission to research what else is out there for you, what else you can do with your beautiful skill set. And so some of the feelings that we tend to feel right before that moment hits, where we know that we're ready for a transition, are feelings of overwhelm, of feeling burnt out, of feeling anxiety. And there are more feelings like that, but then there's also guilt for feeling that way at all. It can be so heavy, that big feeling of guilt, because oftentimes we've worked really hard to be in the jobs and in the careers that we have selected for ourselves. And oftentimes we might like our coworkers, we might really love them, or we might love like 10% of the job and it's like super rewarding. And that guilt that we feel is sometimes the thing that keeps us in our job that we don't like anymore the longest. I know that for me, when I knew that I was ready to quit teaching, the guilt is what kept me there the longest. Because I absolutely loved my coworkers. I absolutely loved the kids that I was teaching. And for the job of teaching, that is often enough to keep so many of us in the profession, just to be able to do it for the kids. And for me, I knew that even if I stayed in the profession, doing the best that I could for the kids that I had each year and in each class, in each speech class, each English class, each journalism class, even if I stayed for the kids, I wasn't going to be happy. I wasn't going to be personally fulfilled to the extent that I would want to be in order to be a good teacher. Because I was still, even when I wanted to enjoy like the 10% of my job that I still loved, I wasn't coming from a place of fulfillment. I was working from a place of being burnt out, of being overwhelmed by all of the responsibilities, of being anxious. And I didn't even know, honestly, how anxious I was until after I quit and I learned how to live life free of that anxiety. It was actually super powerful to have conversations with my husband about my lack of anxiety and about how much more relaxed I was after removing myself from that situation that was giving me so much anxiety and keeping me so uptight and keeping me so stuck. I wasn't able to make progress in any other avenue of my life because I was trudging so hard in the direction of staying in my career. And I think that that can be a really hard thing to grapple with. Knowing that you're burnt out, knowing that you're feeling stuck, but also looking with perspective at the rest of your life and seeing how being stuck in your career is keeping you stuck in other areas too. And it can be so powerful once you are alerted to being able to have perspective on that, to seeing how you're being stuck and guilt-ridden and unfulfilled and overwhelmed and anxious is making you feel that way in other areas of your life. And so it's important for us to be having these conversations. And I hope very much that you tell me what other feelings that you are feeling as you entertain the thoughts of leaving your job, as you consider, as you carefully weigh the pros and cons, because I know it takes a lot of thought. It takes so much beautiful thought and energy to consider a transition, and that's beautiful. I wouldn't have it any other way, because it's so nice to be sure of your decision. But also please know that thought is only going to get you so far. At some point you need to decide and take the leap and go into this transitionary period of your life from a place of excitement instead of fear. And don't worry, sweet friend. Fear is another emotion that we will spend time breaking down and talking about and moving past so that we can move into a place of excitement for your career transition. I'm so excited to keep having these conversations with you, and I can't wait to hear your feedback on what are some of the other important emotions involved in considering transitioning your career. And I hope you have an amazing day.